Metaverse?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
sure.
Perfect. Hey everyone, here we go, another edition of InnMInd Web3 VC pitch session. And regarding this session, we had an overwhelming amount of applications. And I really wish that I can select more than 6 startups, but we do have limited time. And if you're a founder who couldn't make it for this session, we have the next one coming up on the 8th of November. So you can actually apply it through the InnMInd platform. And for those who are new today, so here's the quick rundown of what we've got for you. First of all, we start with quick introductions from our beloved VCs, and then we move on to the startup pitches, where each founder will get exactly 5 minutes to pitch their project. And then afterwards, about 2 to 3 minutes of Q&A will be from VC. So it's always good that you keep the answers short, then they can ask more questions. And yeah, I mean, I really wish that we can actually keep it more open, vocal, just like we had it prior to the session. And those who are watching us on YouTube, please feel free to shoot your questions over in the chat, so the team will redirect it to me. And don't forget to like and subscribe, so you'll be recommended more of this content. And maybe to start it off, I'll give the mic to Jack from 369. Maybe you can introduce yourself and maybe a couple of words about your fund.
Yep, sure. Thanks. Yeah, sure. So my name's Jack. I work for blockchain VC called 369 Capital. The VC started 2 or 3 years ago by a guy named Jonathan Habib. It's entirely blockchain, but pretty agnostic to type. So I think we've done a lot of different stuff. But yeah, somewhat agnostic, focused on like go-to-market strategy. Most of the team is based in Europe. I'm based in New York City. Check size is right now anywhere from 100 to 250K. But we've done 50 to 500, so that can vary. Like to be pretty hands-on with the team, and yeah, looking forward to this.
Thank you so much, Jack. Really love your suit as well. And next we have our Joe Su from Stratifed Capital. Joe, maybe a couple of words.
Sure. So hi everyone, my name is Joe from Stratifed Capital. So we are Web3 early stage focused VCs and covering like pretty diversified portfolio like OTC, on-ramp, off-ramp, and some like DeFi, infra, GameFi, Metaverse, anything. So I could provide some synergy for you guys, and of course we got the Web2 resources, but also the Web3 resources. And I think we're looking forward to some like the good solutions to tackle the pain points in the industry and with the technology barriers. So yeah, this is what we're looking for. Thanks.
Yeah, beware guys, hard questions coming up from Joe during the pitch, so brace yourself. Next we have Mike from MarsDAO. Mike, maybe a couple of words about what you guys are up to.
Yeah, hey guys, really happy to be here. So I lead business development at MarsDAO. We have a venture arm, so we are investing in early stage startups. We help in marketing because we have a huge community in CIS region. And yeah, happy to chat, leaving my Telegram here.
Thanks, Mike. Happy to meet you at in Singapore, token 2049. Pleasure. And
yeah, pleasure.
Thanks. We have Petro from 3X Capital. Hi, Petro.
Hello, happy to be here. A few words about us. My name is Petro. I'm senior analyst at 3X Capital. We're basically a venture firm investing and advising startups. We started in 2017, and our main focus is tied to infrastructure and DeFi. Typically, we do from 100 to 300K and B2 support projects. We do have education, which you can consider as a pre-acceleration program. So additionally, to check that we can do with what we can invest, we can provide some support in fundraising, tokenomics advisory. Pretty happy to be here and hear a lot from startups that are presenting today. Good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Petro. I really love what you guys are doing at 3X with the Metaverse education. I visited once and it's really great. Next, we have Sebastian from AQN Digital Ventures. Seb, maybe a couple of words.
Yeah, for sure. Nice to meet everybody. So I work at AQN Digital Ventures. We're part of like AQN Digital, which is the investment arm of AQN, which provides liquidity and trading infrastructure to financial service businesses that want to enable crypto on their platforms. So like AQN is like a much larger business. We've got offices in like Canada, Dubai, Turkey, and Southeast Asia. And so we've kind of provide single-digit billions of liquidity across the space on a monthly basis. But at AQN, we focus on so it's kind of like a corporate venture capital is where I'm getting at, but not necessarily. Like we are independent, but oftentimes we'll try to like plug our portfolio companies into AQN's network to try to like help them out a little bit in that regard. But here we focus on infrastructure, data analytics, and like kind of compliance type of technologies. Like the rest of the folks here, we're early stage, so pre-seed, seed, writing checks in the 100 to 250K range. We're investing off AQN's balance sheet for the first kind of little while, but now we've carved it out as a separate fund with outside capital as well. We've made like maybe about a dozen allocations so far, and looking forward to hear the pitches today.
Thanks, Seb. I hope you find your next gem here. Yeah, and then next we have Sagar joining us from Blockchain Founders Capital. Sagar, maybe a couple of words.
Hey guys, extremely sorry because I'm driving yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. My name is Sagar. I'm partner at Blockchain Founders Capital. We are early stage venture fund based out of Germany, investing globally with ticket size up to €500,000 or dollar. Our focus is any businesses getting built on top of blockchain. We heavily focus on use cases where your end user or your end client should not know about blockchain. So just build the product. You have pre-product market fit or sort of like a small traction. That's our sweet spot. We are sector agnostic, market agnostic, yeah, happy to be here and looking forward to the pitches.
Thanks, Sagar. Drive safe. All the best. And next we have Sezi from Inceptor. Sezi, maybe a couple of words about Inceptor.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm not also available right now, but I would like to have a couple of words. So I'm Sezi. I'm the business development manager of Inceptor. And Inceptor is a capital, liquidity, and community bootstrapping platform. I mean, we basically connect retail investors with public token offerings. And our ticket size is ranging between 50K to 150K. So I'm happy to watch all the pitches and hear all the pitches right now. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, perfect. So let's get to the main event. Yeah, we start off with the startup pitches. So I want to give the mic to Alex here from Star Protocol. He's joining us today from Seoul. Yeah, please, Alex, share your screen and let me know whenever you're ready. So I'll start the timer for 5 minutes.
Abdul, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let me just share my screen quickly. Can you guys see that on screen now?
Yes, perfect. Here you go.
All right. We'll synchronize. I'll start my time at the same time. Let's go. All right. So SAR is going to be the Web3 universal identity layer. What that means is at the moment, the DIDs are quite siloed. So ENS native to Ethereum, Unstoppable, Polygon, and then you've got Space ID, which is multi-chain. So .arb, .bnb, and then .say. But the problem is you can't cross-chain between each. So making it hard to scale. Now we're seeing a lot more users migrate across to these layer 2. So Arbitrum, Optimism being the key, ZK Sync, Base, Linear upcoming. And that's providing a lot more value as you start to scale with these identity systems and replace the 0x hash address. So forward-thinking dApps need to start looking at chain agnostic, which we're starting to see a lot more now in the discussions with our BDs. A lot more looking for chain agnostic to just capture that user growth. So what we've done is that a lot of protocols aren't omni-chain compatible. So that's what we've put in place. And this, if you're not omni-chain compatible, it hinders user adoption. So at the moment with ENS and Unstoppable, you've got all the way up to multi-chain, but then the omni-chain and then further with our sort of use cases for DAOs and dApps, that's going to add a lot more value. Currently have about 300,000 users across our 27 mainnets, and they're all cross-chain. So you can go on our website now, sns.so, if you want to check it out. Our partners, we have about 200, so it's more than just code marketing. And then we've got API integration. So SyncSwap and Dmail, there are two main leads because they have the largest unique active wallet addresses on zk-Sync, and we work very closely with them. So now as of September, we've got 412,000 registrations. So the last 9 months, we actually grew 2 times faster than ENS. Our growth of the community the last 9 months is about 1 million, with an engagement about 2 to 5%. And then our partnerships, as discussed before, we're the biggest identity system on layer 0. So our main identity system is built with cross-chain messaging protocols from layer 0, which I'm sure most of you are probably well aware of. But we do have the option to use Wormhole and Acceler down the line. Currently, revenue is 2.1 mil. We've made with a compound monthly growth rate of about 86%. As you can see, in 8 months, we've done 400K registrations, which ENS took 32 months to do. How we do this, our revenue stream is through same or similar structure to what ENS does, 3, 4, 5+ characters, 400 US a year, 105. And then our aim is 600K registrations with 3 mil rev by the end of the year. We do have a second offering, which is a white label service that we provide for new layer 1s and layer 2s that have a strong existing community, and depending on the volume and resources they offer as well. So just as of about a week ago, we joined the Consensus Scale program. So we're going to be working alongside the team there, getting access to a few RPC nodes with discount APIs, the fuzzing tools for our security measures, and working along with the team for MetaMask Snap application that we're bringing out in probably the next 4 weeks. So previously, as you can see, some of the grants and the hackathons we've won. Some existing investors. So we had a $1 million seed raise early last year in 2022. Competitors, so discussed ENS basically unstoppable. Whilst they have integrations, the cross-chain approach is not there yet. Not to say they won't have it. They tried this with Coinbase at the start of the year by having off-chain URL gateways, but then again, there's inherent privacy and sort of security issues with off-chain resolution. We've brought it on all on-chain, and the information is stored completely on-chain. Roadmap, without going into too much detail, we will have our token generation event next year, and then our Series A raise will be in 2025. One of the biggest things we're looking for is retention. So we don't want to have domain name utility have almost zero value. So incentivize, reward, retain. That's what we're bringing in place with on-chain interactions, off-chain transactions, and then there'll be earn points and cashbacks for our user base. That'll be the first phase. Second phase will be identity protocol, DAO and DApp, for DAO and dApps. Obviously, token economics would be here all day, talk about the mission schedule, look at the market making, and then talk about our planned launch across the exchanges we've partnered with. But we're going to be contracting out to 2 token economists. We're going to be working closely with them to develop a in-depth token economic schedule and emissions plan. The team, so our co-founder, one had a previous exit for an ASX listed company of 5 mil. And that was about 3 years ago. Our other co-founder, Urban, he worked for Deloitte for 10 years. And then also ran a private office with about $1 billion under management. And then myself, I ran a student club at Melbourne Uni and worked as a digital asset venturelist for a subsidiary of KPMG. Financing, looking for 2.1 mil with the 21 mil raise with 6% token warrant and the 35 mil bell. Operations decide, and that's us.
Wow, 4 minutes and 50 seconds, Alex. Well done. I'll open up the for VCs to ask questions from Alex. Maybe Jack, Joe, Petro.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So what's your previous valuations in the previous round?
20 mil. And that was a token round.
Okay, 20 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this round is the SAFT, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a safe with the token warrant.
Okay. 1 to 1, is it?
0.6 to 1. So 6%.
0.6.
So the token value will be 35 mil.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I think we should talk more later on.
Done.
I have a question. If can I?
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah. So No, great pitch. I think the founder's background looks sick. But what's the secret sauce here? I mean, how close you are with your users? How many times you talk to your users? And are you what's your mode here? Yeah.
I can show you our Discord ticket system. We've got like 2,000 tickets. Yeah, we have really good customer service. So I think the biggest problem is there's been a few social hacks we had 2 social hacks on our accounts, which we've since resolved, fixed, but we provide instant communication and build a lot of trust around that. And we actually saw after every social hack, our user base actually increased by a factor of about 1.5x, because the more trust you build back into the community base, they still recur and come back. And then we fixed the problem now. One hasn't happened again. The other thing was with the moat. So talking about the cross-chain function, that's the first step, is having a strong execution cadence from our product team. So our devs have worked together closely for the last 2 years, and their understanding of Solidity and smart contract programming is just second to none. The third part is our BD team has an insane distribution network across all those 27 networks. So we have one of the fastest growing partnership databases, which I'm happy to share later. I do have a database that I can share as well. So we do have probably 3 or 4. Also, our pricing structure is very aggressive. Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 things in the moat, not just the tech side.
Thanks.
I hope it answered the question, Sagar. Maybe later.
Yeah, did that answer the question? Or would you want to go in more detail?
Perfect. Maybe Petro, Seb, Mike, any questions from Alex here?
Yeah, wanted to ask more like a general question about the market of domains. How you see the potential utility in the future apart from a utility that we have right now for domains? What you see like the perspective of the market that we have right now growing in the future?
More incentives. So there needs to be like messaging applications, snaps is what we're building out next to trial. I think OnlyFans is going to be a good use case with a reward function built in. So creators can actually get content directly from their user base whilst interacting with them through the message in a safe and secure way. That's one really strong use case. The second is with the cross-chain function. If you have a game or like a DApp that you want to use on one network and you've got another game on another network that you want the information and metadata to map across, you can do that using the cross-chain function, and you won't lose your username, you won't lose your assets, and you won't use the information related to those or the metadata related to those. So yeah, and then obviously if you want to go to a high liquidity and sell your domain name because it's a sick username. So .ape we've launched in the last 2 weeks, and the ape sort of network or community, if they have a really cool ape name they want to sell, but one network doesn't have liquidity, they can cross-chain it across to another network that does. Yeah, so there's a couple of use cases.
Got it. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
Thanks for the question, Petro. Maybe, I mean, while you were saying, Alex, I mean, in terms of games being able to integrate this, we have a lot of founders who are actually watching. So guys, in case if you want to use Star Protocol as an infrastructure, please feel free to reach out to Alex or, reach out to us.
Yeah, please.
With Alex as well. Perfect. Cool. I think, Alex, cool. Thank you so much for the pitch. Let's continue with introductions and following up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Appreciate the questions.
See you. Next, we have Script Network, interesting startup. I invite Abiel to present your screen. And whenever you're ready, you can start your pitch. Abiel, you can unmute yourself.
Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me and see my screen.
Yes, we can actually see your screen, and let me know, and you start, I start the timer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have a timer so I can keep track of myself as well. So I'll start.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, I'll start. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me to present to you. My name is Abiel. I'm the co-founder of Script Network, which is basically the Web3 answer to film and TV. So what we created is a decentralized protocol for content. It's natively routed and it uses blockchain mechanics to govern the life cycle of the content, the storage management, as well as the streaming. So essentially all types of streaming serving, I should say, at scale, whilst also being a full stack chain. In terms of the issues that we're seeing in the current market is that filmmakers' content are used to sell something else to people, as well as there's no really good insight for them to track their how their content is performing, as well as increase revenue for them. And what do I mean by this? I mean that usually if we take all of the larger streaming service providers, that they have professional procurement teams that are bidding on large bundles, and the content is basically, from a filmmaker's perspective, it gets lost in translation. So, and then the service providers are selling, Amazon are selling Prime, Netflix is selling subscription, and Apple is bundling everything as Apple One. So that's basically what we're trying to solve by opening up a direct relationship between the publisher as well as the consumer, but also between the publisher as well as other streaming platforms, essentially. So now even consumers can also, deliberately engage with the content that they are actually interested in. So this is Script Network. This is, the 5 cornerstones of our ecosystem. We got the streaming service, marketplace, enterprise side, as well as advertisement that we are basically fusing with the blockchain side to deliver a customized end-to-end solution in an eloquent way. In terms of the market size, growing at a CAGR of 11.6%. In terms of ourselves, we are sitting at, we went into public beta earlier this year, and fast forward to today, we're sitting at approximately 170,000 active accounts, organically growing with around 600 users a day. And in terms of watch time, we're sitting at around 2 hours per users, which is quite good considering 90 minutes is usually the average watch time across the board. And one other major, milestone in our business is that we managed to partner up with NVIDIA, which is super exciting. So that essentially that we can bring more AI to streaming. And with this image, I would like to show you that, as a part of, for our roadmap to onboard, the next tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of users, we would need to deliver on their terms. And that essentially means being on every single device and every single platform. Now, I know there's a lot of information, but just bear with me. In terms of competitors, Pluto obviously is the biggest one in the space, sold to Viacom CBS for $350 million. And now, a few years down the line, they are essentially bringing in $3 billion in ad sales each year. And then we also have Theta TV, which is in the Web3 infrastructure side, which is essentially one cornerstone of our business. But yet, at some point in time, they were sitting at a $5 billion market cap. In terms of monetization, obviously we need to run ads on the streaming service in order to cover our costs. We do take a percentage on the transaction on the marketplace, and we have also a few services that will bring us recurring revenue on the enterprise side. This is the SCPT, governance, staking, and advertising. This is token you need to hold. And SPay is basically the payment token within the ecosystem. I'll skip this for the interest of time. And in terms of the team, have done the previous exits in the past, and we have a vast experience in the IT and telecom sector, as well as the media and the finance sector. And here are some of our investors and partners. I think, I'm not sure if Gate is on this call as well, but I know that they are part of our funding round, essentially. So if you guys are out there, hope all is well. So yeah, I just wanted to round up with this since time is about to run out. We are, as a company, are very fortunate, to have our, a lot of content partners, distribution partners, as well as ad partners, in order for us to be able to create this linear experience. And, we're just getting started. So it's a good way for an investor to come in quite early and join us on this ride. and do it at a fairly low valuation. So, and if you are in the media space, then we would definitely like to talk. So thank you so much for letting me present to you.
Thank you so much, Abiel. And I'd like to say thanks to IVC, because I actually met Abiel in Singapore as well. So they actually introduced Abiel, and of course, and it's an amazing startup. And I'll open up questions for VCs. Please shoot up questions, guys.
I can ask a couple questions. So just on the side there, the 580K is that's what, and 70% of that is done, or you're 70% done your round and 580K is what's left?
Yeah, sorry, 580K is left.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And then can you just talk a little bit about, like, you know, maybe don't have to mention any names on a, you know, public call, but like what kind of investors do you have in the 70%?
Well, I guess it's a mix of bigger investors as well as smaller. It's a big mix of angels and larger institutions, if that makes sense.
Sure. And no one like from like a strategic kind of component, like no like media folks who are writing checks, mostly like VCs and angels. Is that fair?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. And then last one, can you talk a little bit about your strategy around like content moderation?
So yeah, absolutely. Do you mean in terms of what type of content that is coming on, or?
Yeah. Like I find sometimes on these like decentralized media platforms, right? Like it's you know, cool because it's open and, you know, people can post and it's you know, there's a lot of you know, freedom to, you know, of speech and all that kind of stuff on there. But then other times, you know, you got to be careful about what exactly makes its way through. And I know it's a major problem for a lot of the larger social media platforms and that kind of thing. So just kind of curious about how you're going to try to tackle that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the content that that is going to be uploaded onto our platform is the content that we license from other content partners from directly. So we have already. It's not like a user-generated platform where like YouTube or Twitch or anything like that. It's content that we actually license ourselves to be able to broadcast on our platform, if that makes sense.
Got it. Okay, and then like who decides what's okay to get posted?
Yes, so that in the beginning that's us, but obviously that's where our community is going to have a big say in what type of content that we onboard and so on. Okay, great. And so again, not to beat a dead horse here, but so like when it is and the community is going to be making decisions, how are you going to make, like, how is that going to be, is it going to just be like, regular old votes, or like, what kind of, because, the world's a bit of a sensitive place right now. So I'm just kind of curious about how you plan to manage that as a community. Yeah, I mean, obviously that is something that we're trying to figure out as long as we go. But I think from start is just going to be votes on the type of genres to start with. But then also, if there's something that they in particular don't like, then obviously we will have to remove it. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. No problem. Thanks, Seb. I mean, of course, like even like my first question popped up was like how exactly that you're going to moderate it, because I mean, Twitter is really cool. I mean, we all there, but at the same time, community notes helps in terms of the current situation, understanding what's real and not. But since this is not user generated content, I mean, in terms of like, I mean, an idea would be like, if your community kind of selects some, votes on some broadcasting media, and then they generate revenue, and then if it's going to be distributed to the community, those who actually voted for it. So if there is any way to do it, I think it would be great. And I feel, Abiel, you should definitely get on a call with Sebastian later on to kind of deep dive into the product and see how exactly that you can maybe share some insights. Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Likewise. Yeah, perfect. Any other questions, Jack? Yeah. And I know you had to go through quickly because of the time constraints, but maybe if you could just talk a little bit more about like the product's value to viewers, like just content consumers, because I totally get, why the use case here in terms of like
being a media company or being a creator, but maybe just talking about how the user benefits.
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, from how the user benefits is because of how we have built out the platform. It's basically like a watch to earn, if that makes sense. So we are offering, tokenized rewards for the users that are actually watching television, so they can get it for free, and we're actually paying for the time. But also, there's a lot of other perks to it that are, we are trying to not only offer, tokenized rewards, we are also trying to, we have actually a pilot that we are going to roll out. I think it's early next year, as soon as they're finished with their film. But for some of the users that have special tier NFTs will be able to, get access to private screeners and meet with the production team, with a Q&A session afterwards, and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit of a different approach to streaming in general, but yeah, we have other layered experiences that we're adding on top of it.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like the play is more like, getting users more personalized with their favorite creators and content. Because like, to me, if you're a user and you're going to watch TV or something, like, I don't really care about earning a little bit of money. Like, my goal is to just sit down and watch, my favorite show or whatever.
Sure.
So I do really like the idea of, bringing the users closer to their creator, almost like a Twitch situation where you can chat with the creators.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question.
I have one question from my side. As you mentioned, 170,000 users you have already. So how did you acquire the user, and why do you want to raise the capital? You can bootstrap and maybe sell it at later stage when the valuation goes up. I mean, as a founder, I think you should never give away cheap equity, if you are like even token.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's the correlation of like 170,000 users. What's your revenue model look like? Is it like how much you can potentially your growth in terms of like dollar value proposition you earn per user?
So what I can say is that it differs in terms of there's a lot of questions there, but it differs in terms of how much we are earning per user, but average is around 25 cents per month in MRR. And sorry, I'm not sure if I got to the question before.
How did you acquire this 170,000 users?
It was a little bit of marketing, actually.
Can you maybe go more in detail? Would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did was to we have done some partnerships with other projects where we tap into their community and then they tap into ours. But also we have done news outlets, PR statements, and that's essentially what led to the quick growth, essentially. And the fact that we also have a working product, I think that's is also one of the key factors.
Last one from my side. Do you know the geographical location of your users, like where the most of your users are coming from, which part of the world?
Absolutely. It's a mix of, I would say, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 countries. So I would say the CIS region and a few countries in Europe, and the majority is from Southeast Asia as well.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for the questions, answers. Anybody else? Oh, I have a question from YouTube. Maybe I can shoot it. Did you do any airdrop or token distribution yet? Yeah, that's the question. I missed the parts. I saw Q3 2023 in your roadmap. So yeah, did you do any airdrop thing yet, Abiel?
If we have done, yeah, sorry, go. I'm not sure if I heard the question there.
Yeah, the question from YouTube is, did you do any airdrop or token distribution yet? I missed part and I saw Q3 2023 in your roadmap. Anyway, the question is, did you do an airdrop or token distribution yet?
We have not.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something that has to be like, deep dive. I invite all the VCs to kind of get insight and have a chat with ABL. Maybe a private call will give more information, more clarity in terms of answering. So yeah, I mean, yeah, ABL, thank you so much for presenting.
Absolutely.
And look forward with the intros.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, perfect. Next up, we have FileMarket, and we have Ilya here with us. Ilya, hey, nice to meet you. Ilya. Yeah, maybe you can present your screen. And
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone, guys. I'm right now in Hong Kong, visiting Ethereum Hong Kong, leaving Hong Kong actually tomorrow. So I'm happy to present FileMarket today. We are building a decentralized peer-to-peer file sharing and digital goods trading platform. One of the rare real-world use cases, I would say, in the Web3. And we are big believers of the data economy. So we are in the pre-seed stage right now. We became the IPFS and Filecoin app of the month. And as I said before, we are registered in Hong Kong. So if we take a look at the existing internet, we can see that a lot of data is actually getting lost. And, as you say that not your keys, not your assets, not your crypto, we can also say in the same way that not your keys, not your data. And if we take a look at the infrastructure, we can see that a lot of file sharing, most of them, they're actually completely outdated, and paywall services are outdated as well. And they are not, in most of the times, they are not even integrated with each other. So FileMarket is our solution, and we are offering a tokenized files explorer and a marketplace as an interface. We also created an encrypted file token protocol, which allows to attach encrypted data containers to NFTs and transfer them on chain. We use Filecoin decentralized storage, which allows perpetual storage, on-chain provenance, 100% privacy. And also we have a multi-blockchain integration, which makes the secondary market possible, and of course all the royalties. All our smart contracts are in Solidity. So literally what we are offering you to create, to turn your crypto wallet into My Documents folder, which will allow you to preserve your own life's most important data and also trade it or transfer it. So the product is, of course, live. It's not just MVP, it's version 1 of FileMarket, which is live on filemarket.xyz. We are deployed on 2 networks, ZK Sync and FVM. Soon the cheapest transaction on ZK Sync is coming. That's how we also going to get a lot of attraction of CBILs. But we also made an alpha testnet campaign, a mainnet test campaign, and also we launched File Bunnies. We have distributed 7,600 of them. And we became the top 5 smart contracts on FVM. And it became the biggest ever cross-marketing campaign in the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystem. So as I was saying before, we have a lot of different traction and validation. We have Cointelegraph on board. They own 1% of equity. We also raised more than $30,000 with our EFT collection. We call the modification of ERC-721 EFT. EFT is meaning encrypted file tokens. So I think like our biggest resource and my biggest honor is to work with these amazing people. I know my main co-founder since 2016. We have built a couple of apps before, and we have a really long lasting and very respectful relationship. And all the main developers, I know them also since 2017, 2018. Later on, Eugene, Gerard, and Steven have joined us, helping us to bring the market, to bring the product to the market. So if we take a look at our revenue streams, we can see that the basic business model is, of course, a commission-based model. So we take a commission from every transaction, every time any kind of a file is sold, like a file for 3D printer or a font, or for example, right now, our most active target audience are the community of educators who are selling different templates on Notion. But in the future, we also plan to integrate the revenue share with storage providers, because we are actually delivering data to them and letting them earn more and from the mining. And also, of course, advertisers are going to be the essential part of the whole story, because some of the files which are going to be hosted publicly are going to be paid by advertisers, so that anyone will be able to access them for free, but advertisers will be also profiting from getting the exposure. So if we take a look at our go-to-market strategy, right now we are raising the pre-seed round. We have raised already 200K angel investments. We've been building for 14 months. If we raise 490,000 right now, we're going to have a runway for 18 plus months. Our main goal is to finalize the SDK in 6 months and to start integrations with different crypto wallets. We have already a couple of LOIs from different teams. And because crypto wallets have a huge retention problem, they really like the concept of getting some additional cool features inside their interface. And my documents folder seems supernatural, because even Vitalik Buterin was actually naming the first white paper of Ethereum, the global computer. And the global computer are the programs and the My Documents folder. So right now in this global computer, we have smart contracts, but My Documents are missing. So together with the Filecoin and using Filecoin protocol, we're going to be delivering the actual interface integration. So right now we are on the pre-seed round. We are right now offering not just tokens, but also equity. Starting from the seed round, we are not going to be distributing any equity anymore. We then plan the strategic round and the Series A round, and together with our pre-seed investors, we plan to decide when we will plan the token generation event. So thank you very much, guys, for your attention. It's a honor and pleasure to be here today. We are not just looking for any investors. We are looking for someone who is excited and believes that the data economy is going to make the future of data and the future of Web3 sustainable and will lead to the mass adoption. So we are happy to show you more details on the private call. So happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Ilya. And I have a lot of memes that I want to kind of use my storage, so that like my next generation will know like what kind of memes that I used to look. But on a serious note,
you know what I really believe. Thank you so much, Abdul. Because I really believe that like the data that we actually collect throughout our life is some kind of a digital heritage that we can leave ourselves. It's some kind of a way to make ourselves immortal.
Yeah, and also iCloud storages are getting hacked. So yeah, this seems like a good option. I will open up the questions for VCs, guys. Please shoot your questions, bullets at Ilya, please. Maybe Mike, Jacques, Joe, Petro.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the location. You mentioned that you are registered in Hong Kong, but about the team, where are you located?
So the whole team, actually, like, well, almost the whole team except Steven, everyone have Russian passports, but we are all spread around the world. I've been actually growing up in Switzerland, and for the last 3 years I was living in Turkey. Right now I'm full-time in Asia, not based anywhere yet. After the new year, I plan to move to Hong Kong full-time. I was a part of the team, and tomorrow I'm flying to Vietnam, so we're going to get together in Vietnam for the winter right now. So everyone right now spread around the world.
So right now you don't have like team members who are, I can say, resident in Russia living there, and you don't see like a risk of a war that is
no, of course,
right now on the project?
Of course not, because like even myself, like I come from the middle part of Russia, and I really believe the only way you can win against fascists is like literally by opening the second front. Like so, and my biggest dream is that one day Russia will decentralize, and what now Putin has started is actually leading to this. And like all these talented Russian engineers that are coming from this failed state and who are actually have some ancestors who were like building rocket engines straight out of Gulag are going to be able to build the network state one day, like a decentralized Eurasian confederation there. So we are super strongly on supporting Ukrainian side, and yeah, we like. Yep. Yeah, but like we plan to like mostly like be based, like most of the team to be based in Asia, because that's the like right now Hong Kong is showing an amazing traction in terms of like accepting crypto, legalizing crypto, and that's the place where we want to be, to feel safe and not to be like feeling in the gray zone. And Hong Kong is right now doing a lot of steps in this direction.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Thanks for sharing this.
Thanks. Sebastian, I see you unmuted.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, this one's more like general interest. Like, so you've got this SDK. Like, how do you see your product kind of like being embedded within other products out there? Like, how do you fit into like a broader ecosystem where like the ability to house and exchange these files, these encrypted files, can like play into like the next iteration, I guess.
Oh, that's a great question. Right now, we are using asymmetric encryption to transfer the keys on chain. So it's a truly decentralized peer-to-peer file sharing mechanism, where like the encryption keys to the files are only on your side in your web browser, and then you use like as soon as the new buyer like sends you like the public key, you encrypt the file again like asymmetrically, and then the new buyer is actually using his private key to decrypt the file. But in the future, there are a lot of like things are really happening right now around privacy in the Web3 space. I would really highly recommend everyone to take a look at the project called Zama. Zama.ai is their website. So what they have just not so long ago raised $50 million on Protocol Labs, like the Filecoin Foundation, like a founding company was also participating there. So what they're doing, they actually have theoretically proven that privacy on the blockchain is possible, like even on all EVM chains. So using homomorphic encryption, fully homomorphic encryption, they are creating now libraries that's going to be integrated into all kind of different EVM chains. This is really the future of the privacy, like right now on the blockchain, because until now it's not really solved. We see projects like Lead Protocol, Access Network, Crust Network, Threshold Network. They are all pretty much building separate entities which are managing and holding secrets and delivering them like this kind of like services in different ways, but they are all like separate entities. And in terms of like UX, like it's a horror. So I think that the future, like we as FileMarket, we are trying to stay flexible and stay really up to date. So like homomorphic encryption, we believe that's going to be actually the biggest solution in that case. So yeah, we're trying just to like not to hurry too much and like focus right now more on being like end user application, get enough of the traction in this field.
Cool. That's awesome. And then I have like the most noob of all questions, but I'd be kind of just curious to hear your thoughts on it. What's the difference between using FileMarket and then like me sending someone a file using Signal? I understand like obviously blockchain or whatever else, but like from a user experience, but like why do I want to use FileMarket versus something else versus like Signal it's already got like a lot of network effects?
Yeah, the main reason is that like the button, imagine the button like the sell button, like pretty much the monetization right now is going to be the main incentives like for our users. But also, of course, like we're planning all kind of other additional stuff that Web3 services actually offering, like because on the early stage, anyway, like the token is the greatest tool to actually achieve the network effect. Even Bitcoin itself was using like actually the token to incentivize people to join the network and to create the network effect. So it shouldn't be underestimated for sure. We only plan to actually release the token like earliest by the end of next year. But in general, like interoperability rewards on early stage 100% privacy with on-chain provenance together, and the secondary market with royalties, and also most importantly perpetual storage, because for many people it's really important, because that's the only way how to leave the guaranteed your digital heritage trail after yourself.
Very cool. And then maybe I don't want to hog the mic, but maybe just one last one. Like, have you already started to like speak with some of these like like DeSci projects and like more like the scientific community around like it sounds like there'd be some obvious benefit to them with this product.
That's amazing question as well, because right now pretty much like all the whole, like the, like right now the whole issue about the going to market right now for us is going around either we should like just focus on one vertical or we should skip our horizontal positioning. And if we take a look back, like the first, like this idea was born in my head like 3 years ago when I was thinking about industrial designers, and we even started to build the first version of the product. And then 14 months back, we actually, like, there was the second burst of the project, and we were focusing only on 3D files and Metaverse builders. But when the project and the protocol were ready this year, we realized that it can be used for any file format, actually. So we shouldn't really limit ourselves like to only one vertical. That's why we decided to choose this positioning of being the file market, some kind of a Web3 mega upload or deposit files in, like, story, but in Web3 with this BitTorrent vibe where you can like search, tab where you can find anything. So that was our goal, and right now we have different verticals that we are actively working together with, and definitely like they're really different, and it's so great to get all kind of different feedback from all kind of different verticals. For example, right now, the template creators on Notion are active, or people who create 3D files for 3D printers, or people who are trading like databases. So it's to be honest, like this customer development went with the ready product. It's so amazing. Like we couldn't even dream about like many ideas that we're actually getting from our real users right now. So testing different verticals and choosing the ones we are going to focus on, that's our main goal right now.
That's awesome. I have many more questions. We'll have to just follow up another time. Thank you.
Definitely jump on a call. I know 5 minutes is really not enough to kind of explain everything about the product, and there is like much more. And that's the reason, like you definitely have to jump on a call with Ilya. I think it's best that you guys can run in detail. But before that, I see Jack unmuted. Jack.
Yeah. Not to introduce like more verticals, but, and maybe you already said this, Ilya, but have you guys thought about the B2B route? Because I see it's like consumer, but have you thought about just doing businesses instead?
Oh, absolutely. We really see like the B2B as the main like scaling solution for ourselves and the main source of cheap users. So the integrations with our SDK into all kind of different dApps and crypto wallets, adding these My Documents, like some kind of like, imagine it like a crypto USB stick, which is like, 100% like that, like the encryption is really safe in the same way that your ETH are safe, like on your crypto wallet. So that's going to be the source of the cheap users for us right now. And we see the FileMarket interface right now as some kind of a demo stage where like we can battle test and where we can demonstrate what we're doing. And there are many use cases in Web3 right now that what I'm seeing. For example, there is a project called YLead. They have developed a peer-to-peer messaging protocol. And until they have actually attracted like a couple of 100,000 users through their B2C platform, they were not able to conduct any B2B agreements, because like existing businesses, they need trust. So they need to see its work. And also like FileMarket, we kind of want to really keep it as some kind of a centralized hub explorer, like file explorer, where you can then find files that are minted and tokenized from all kind of different dApps.
Got you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys.
Guys, thank you so much for the questions are really amazing, and I especially wanted to thank Abdul, because I'm telling you, man, I'm not joking. I told my team yesterday that the most like valuable like feedback that we have ever gotten like for pitching was coming from Abdul. It was direct. It was like super tight and experienced, and like I was really excited yesterday. Thank you so much for this support.
Thanks for the shout out, man. Appreciate it. Let's jump on a call later. Let's move on to the next startup, guys. We are on time. We have about half an hour more to go. So next startup is, we have Storm Trade from UAE, and we have Dennis here who's presenting. Hey, Dennis.
Yeah, hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Dennis, maybe can you share your screen? And I will start my timer whenever you're ready.
Sure. Can you see it now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, amazing. So let's start. So hello guys, thank you for an opportunity to present here. My name is Denis. I present to you Stone Trade, a solution to trade everything on Ton blockchain. So currently, trust and centralized exchange are kind of undermined, and KYC procedures are extensive, and users are afraid of their data being leaked, and self-custody is kind of difficult. And also you need multiple accounts in different exchanges to trade various asset types like crypto, stock, forex, and commodities. There are already exchanges like Gains Network and Vela that do allow you to trade futures on any kind of assets using self-custody. However, an onboarding on these exchanges is very, very, very difficult. So it's level 2 solutions. There is a lot of level 2. There is problems with bridges. You cannot use credit card and so on and so forth. So it's really, really difficult to onboard here. And this is why we are building a Storm Trade, a decentralized investment instrument marketplace that allows you to trade perpetual futures on any asset kind, including crypto, forex, stock, and commodities, without leaving the comfort of your Telegram messenger as with direct wallet bot integration. So the market for perpetual futures is huge. 90% of all trading volume in the space is futures. However, only 3% of this volume is on DEXs because of the difficulties of onboarding. So this is the market that we are going to take on with our Ton partnership and Telegram integrations. Our user acquisition channel is mostly the Ton community first and early adopters. Then Telegram have the largest community of traders like ever. So trading channels then, and then general audience. By reaching 500 million of users with a direct wallet integration, we allow us to create a huge user base. Then, of course, we have all the mechanism of SocialFi, making it viral with referral links, actually minted as NFTs, gamifications, one-click copy trading, AI integration, and so forth and so forth. And we also ensure to reward our users with KPI-based token rewards, so basically in form of a cash back to traders in token. So we have these nice shareable cards to share your trades, and we already got supported by Toncoin Fund. We actually raised pre-seed with them because we attract liquidity inside an ecosystem. We bootstrap the trading volume with the leverage and allow other projects to be built on top, including indexes, hedging options, and so on and so forth. So our tokenomics follows real yield narrative with 30% of fees distributed to token stakers and 70% of fees distributed to liquidity providers. I think we really imagined a new way to trade, and let's see how it actually works in a second. So currently we got a lot of traction, multiple, like a few hundreds of traders trading daily, a huge community, strategic partnership with Ton Foundation, and multiple other partnerships from Ton ecosystem and outside of this, including an Oracle Peace network. Our roadmap includes the TGE in the next year, and we really looking at realistically onboarding 1 million users by the end of the year. That's more than Ethereum users combined daily. So our team have all the necessary competencies to successfully deliver a project, and I actually worked with two of my co-founders previously on different projects, including derivatives, DEXs, and other blockchain solutions. So let's see how it actually works. So here it is, a short demo, and I'll actually speed it up for you. So here you can see just a normal Telegram bot. You open it up and you see that you can connect your wallet. This is an older demo, so we connect to the Tonkeeper wallet. However, the native wallet integration is already online, so you can use wallet and Ton Spaces. All the prices are updated in real time, giving you the real sex experience inside your messenger. So now to open a trade, you basically select your desired margin. So USDT margin, for example, $100, and then you select desired leverage. We're already in production. You can go up to X20 leverage. Then you confirm transaction in the Tonkeeper, boom, done. So you opened your trade without any extra software. Well, in this case, there are extra software, but in case with the wallet integration, there is none. So currently, we are seeking a seed funding, 1.5 million at a valuation of 15 million, and this is a short outline of how we're going to spend these funds. So thank you. And if you have any questions, let's discuss them.
Amazing, Dennis. Thank you so much. And I can just imagine, like, Telegram has about 800 million users. And in terms of traders, like futures and perpetuals, like there is a lot of communities on Telegram. And imagine like they can actually do, like when they get their signals, like the moment they receive it, they can just trade it even without leaving the Telegram window. It's going to be huge. But I'm really curious to see like what investors think about it. Maybe Joe, what do you think? Joe, Jack? Please shoot your questions.
Yeah, I got a quick question. So do you receive any grants from the Tom Foundation?
Yes, we actually raised a pre-seed round with them at a valuation of 5 million. I think we raised 250K. Yeah, that's it. And they are fully supporting us with the marketing, liquidity, advisory, like wallet integration, and so on and so forth.
Oh, I think my question will come with our later meetings. Thanks.
I think we have an introduction over there then. Perfect. Jack, Seb, Sezi, any questions?
I don't have any questions right now. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I think yeah, maybe I have a question for you, Dennis. 1 million users by end of the year seems it's really crazy for me. How are you going to achieve it?
Well, I think it's quite straightforward with the Telegram releasing the wallet for all the audience by the end of November. There is actually plenty of time to go to market with, well, I would say so that an audience of Telegram are like trading channels and groups is 10 million.
Yeah.
So 1 million users is basically reaching out to like 1/10 of this audience. And with direct integration with wallet, like featuring this as a D-app, so Telegram actually do want to become like a super app of the apps. This is more than possible, actually.
Of course. I mean, I had a Twitter space. We had a Twitter space recently with the Ton guys as well. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that with the current infrastructure that you have, how much more that you can actually get like mainstream adoption and things like that. So all the best, Dennis, on the user acquisition. Yeah. If Seb, did you have a question or?
No, I think I'll probably save them for a one-on-one actually. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. All right. I think we'll follow up with the introductions, Dennis. Thank you so much for presenting us today.
Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Perfect. See you soon then. Perfect. All right. Next, we have an interesting startup. So I just want to give a quick shout out. We have 2 more startups, and the last one is also very, very interesting. And stick around till the end so that you won't really miss out on this. So we have Nick here, and he's presenting Definity Legend Game Builder. Quite interesting. Nick, please share your screen, and I will police the timer here.
Thank you. I just wanted to double check if I'm able to actually start a poll with everyone.
You should be able to.
Just see if I can do so. If I share screen.
Okay.
No, I'm not actually able to. Not from my end here. Okay, never mind. Sorry. So I'll probably require some live feedback from you guys and to just see how long the game actually is required to develop. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you as well, InnMInd, for arranging this. What is Definity Legend? So we are creating a Web3 platform which integrates some form of AI for game building without coding skills required for both Web 2 as well as Web 3 users. Now, one of the major problems in the current gaming industry at this juncture now is centralization of game assets. A lot of the games itself, they're genre limited, meaning to say, for example, if they're an RPG game, they're an RPG game. If they are a shooting game, they're a shooting game. They can't really cross to a different genre. Short product life cycle, limited revenue ceiling, and generic content as well as geographical limitations. Now, the evolution of gaming, I think, is pretty straightforward. I'm sure some of you guys have started gaming since classic arcade games, home gaming like PlayStation, and then the MMORPG period, and then the mobile gaming, and then Battle Royale. Now, we are setting ourselves up as the next forefront for gaming creation as well as a gaming platform. Now, why a new approach is essential and why we wanted to create a platform such as ours: high development costs, hiring very complicated hiring mechanism whereby you are required to potentially hire a group of developers, which is very costly. Time-consuming game development, so you need people to create the concept, the design, the art, the coding, the testing. A lot of work needs to be done. No economic opportunity through UGC. Lack of Web3 integration, and lack of a unified platform. So this is where we come in as a solution. We provide a platform where all you need is just creativity, and we also allow one singular platform for an economic opportunity for UGC generated content. Community-driven ecosystem, whereby the whole ecosystem is operated under blockchain. And the whole idea here is that we want to bridge between gaming for not only Web3 users, but also Web2 users. And ultimately, the most important key point is we want to provide a platform whereby you don't need to do any coding, you just need to build. So I'm going to sort of share a video here with everyone. And I just need everyone to just sort of put in the chat, how long do you actually think it takes to build this game from scratch? Is it going to take a day, a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months? Hopefully, I'll be able to get some feedback, and with that, I'll be able to also then provide an understanding of what we're actually building and how exciting it is. So I'm just going to pause here and showcase here, like, how long do you think it's going to take with a small team of developers to develop this game from scratch? Is it going to take a day? Is it going to take a week? Is it going to take a month? Or is it 3 months? Or is it 6 months? And it's a multiplayer game. Okay, so I'm going to push forward a bit. Now, hopefully everyone, you have a timeline in mind. I'm just going to share realistically how long it actually takes. Oh, I'm actually able to submit this. Okay. Is everyone actually able to see the poll that is shown here?
Yeah, I just created the poll. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So yeah, 1 day, 1 week.
Yeah.
Eternity. I don't think it's actually going to take eternity.
I put that option.
We really appreciate the feedback here, because it's really important for what I'm about to show you next. And hopefully we'll get some ideas. Okay, well, generally, majority of the people's answers are usually within months. So let me just share how long we actually take to create the game itself. So we start off with naming the game itself. We provide the player's point of view, and then we select land size, and then we just create. So it's this is in live mode. So it's actually what you see here is actually a user building the game within less than 3 minutes. So what would usually take 3 months of effort in terms of time, in terms of team effort, in terms of expertise, it takes about 2 to 3 months, which we are providing a platform where you can do it in less than 3 minutes. Okay.
We are 5 minutes, maybe you can wrap it up.
Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it of what I wanted to present.
Perfect. Thank you so much for presenting, Nick. I believe it's time for questions. Joe, Jack, Seb, Sazi, please. Questions to Nick. Or maybe feedback.
I can provide some feedback. We don't really do much in gaming, so I don't really have much intelligent to say on that one. But on the just like, you know, some constructive, like, you know, I thought the pitch was good. I like the multimedia aspect to it, and the poll, although maybe not the smoothest, I think you pulled it off in the end. Yeah, no, I thought, like, you know, I'm assuming that for those who are interested in the gaming place, that would be a relatively good kind of pitch, and it seems like you've got something interesting there in terms of like speed to market and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much of a intelligent to say.
Much appreciated, Sebastian. Thank you.
Thank you, Seb. I think we have a question from YouTube. Is that like, okay, in terms of the product, do you see, is there a token that you're launching, or how is this going to play out in terms of, and also, do you have any communities at the moment?
Yes. So in terms of the community size, let me just share a bit. So this is our community size at this junction now. And we are also collaborating with a couple of platforms like Unix, MetaK, a couple of gaming platforms to sort of reach out to users to start trying out our MVP game builder as well as our player application. So this is where we are at this junction. And yes, we do actually have a token. So the primary utility for the token itself is going to be, let me just quickly share the token utility. Yes. So these are the primary token utilities for DLD. Marketplace ecosystem, in-game transactions, exclusive advertising, land ownership, staking governance, cross-chain expansion, brand collaboration, user rewards, and VR realms. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, Nick. I think if there is no question, I think it will continue follow up with introduction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, everyone, for your time.
All right. Perfect. So last but not least, I give the mic to SyncVault team. We've known each other for quite some time, friends of InnMInd. And SyncVault is doing something very interesting, that they already have created this infrastructure and executing it in the legacy business model. But right now, they are actually moving to the decentralized space. So I give the mic to Graham. Maybe you can share your screen right now and present. Maybe I can time your pitch right now.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Great to be here, and thanks for the invitation. Really appreciate that. Hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen, Graham. Once you start, I will start as well.
Great, fine. So over the last 2 years, we've built and refined a kind of decentralized infrastructure to promote digital assets across the most popular social media platforms. And we do this by connecting artists, brands, influencers, and fans over those particular platforms, which currently it's YouTube, Instagram, Shorts, and TikTok. We've proven to be a fast-growing company, and we see ourselves as a kind of next generation of social media promotion. To date, we do about just under 1 billion views every month. Our revenue is 3.2 million. Our community, which has been growing totally organically, we've not done any marketing as yet, is 27,000, and our kind of clients include artists, labels, and brands, and our relationships are standing now at about just over 1,900. And the most recent being Amazon Music, who we've just started working with. Two more points just to mention is that we were recognized as being a company to watch when we launched in 2021, and YouTube, and we are fully YouTube certified. So what we do is we enable media asset owners, that might be video asset owners, gamers, or gaming platforms, music, products, events, to use our social media influencers on our platform, and they then promote these assets over YouTube and TikTok, Shorts, and Instagram. That the fans then view that, and then we, and in the background, are picking up streaming revenues, royalties from the back of the usage, merchandise, ticketing, etc. And we've done this really by, the big issue about social media promotion is it's highly costly, it's manual, it's time consuming. We fully automated that, and the decentralization has enabled us to collapse the cost and build a kind of network effect, but to collapse the cost of the promotion. We've kind of reduced the time and marketing costs by about 10. The other side of what we do is that our rights management system manages all the rights for the digital assets so that there's no claims on our influencers. They can continue to monetize their platforms. And we then provide additional rewards to them based on views, engagements, etc. I mean, a typical case study here, this was a J campaign we did, 16 times cheaper than the norm that they'd normally pay. It increased his Spotify streams by 18.6 million and produced an ROI in excess of 100. So where are we going with this platform is we're now further decentralizing it. We see, and what we've noticed is the further you go down the marketing funnel, the better engagement you have. I mean, one of the reasons Amazon chose us was because they saw us being able to market, en masse to, smaller, micro influencers. And we want to go beyond micro influencers and get down to the fan. So we're opening up the platform with a social token to provide much greater kind of peer-to-peer collaboration, primarily through staking, where fans are rewarded for following their favorite influencers, artists, and brands. And then we're increasing the efficiency of payments. Royalties earned from social media platforms are very slow, so we're putting a DeFi element into that so that we can pay, asset owners the next day. And that's really important because I think as well as being able to increase the velocity of money, what we can do then is also increase the value of those particular assets. I mean, it's great because we're operating, we have a community, so we communicate with our community, and this is what they want to do. They trust us, which is important. It means that we can move into this environment, with them, hand in hand, and they are looking for ways to collaborate with their audience, to get investment from their audience, and to work more closely. To date, we have a kind of 360 revenue model. We distribute all our music assets globally. We then collect royalties from all the social media platforms as well as the streaming platforms, and then we provide, branding and marketing that increases the royalties that we collect. And then in the background, there's affiliate marketing tools and fan tokens through which we have a number of platforms that want to work with us. But ultimately, it's staking is where we see that we can create most value. We're kind of in the competitive landscape. So I mean, we're a kind of a blend between two distinct industries. One is decentralized social media promotion, which kind of doesn't really exist except for ourselves and maybe Pairpop to a degree, and then royalty and music distribution or asset distribution and collection. And we found that by collapsing the cost of promotion, you can actually increase the royalties. And I mean, you can see our return on investment so far has been extremely good.
We have already 5 minutes, maybe last phrases, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Okay, fine. So we're in the build phase now. We'll do a TGE in Q2 2024, and then we'll do a Series A in 2025. And the team, great team around me, great experience working with some of the biggest companies and incredible advisors, including Will Page from PRS and Spotify. Joachim has built about 100+ tokenomic models. We're raising 4.4 million on a 30 million pre-money valuation, and that would be equity plus token warrant on a one-to-one basis. And yeah, if you feel you can add value, please talk to us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ram. I think it's a very interesting product with the new attention economy, which is the new gold rush. I will give the opportunity for investors to ask questions. Maybe Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do so. So I got a quick question: is that how do you have any methodology on getting the creator on board? Or how do you do the BDs, especially on the creator side?
Lovely question. Well, to date, we've not spent any money on marketing. I mean, we went out to some creators who couldn't quite believe that they could earn additional money and additional income for what they were already creating. So we don't stop them from earning income on their existing channels, but we provide them additional income, by giving them, at the moment, incredibly good music from major labels that they wouldn't otherwise be able to use. And so the biggest question is they talk to us and say, really, you're really going to do that? And we do that. And that's kind of built, if you like, our community to date. We've not spent any money on marketing, and part of this raise actually would be to spend quite a significant amount of money on marketing. I don't know if that answers your question entirely.
Yeah, but I think like moving the videos on the YouTube on your platform is it's not visible for IP.
So, yeah, sorry, I think I've not really explained myself. We're not a social media platform. We're essentially technology that connects our brands that we work with and the labels that we work with to be able to run promotions over existing platforms. And then our technology sits over the top of those platforms and monitors exactly what's going on. So, we're not trying to create a new platform. I see no point in that. And actually, we open it, the whole plan is to open ourselves to expand to other platforms. And next will probably be Twitch. And we're talking to a few decentralized platforms as well. But, it's infrastructure that we built here that manages rights and, collapses the cost of promotion.
Okay, gotcha point.
Yeah.
Perfect. Maybe I'll give Mike, Seb, any questions? Sebastian, you should have some questions for SyncVault. What do you think about it as a product?
I put him on the spot, eh? I mean, I think it's like it's interesting. I wonder. I mean, it's not a space I'm super familiar with. I'm not an influencer, so I don't know how exactly if this adds friction to my day-to-day, or what kind of incremental revenue could be expected, and how I want to deal with that. Also, I'd be kind of curious if it sounds like YouTube certified and that kind of stuff, but it's like, by enabling this, am I going to potentially risk deplatforming based on some sort of terms and conditions? These are all things I have no idea about, but I mean, otherwise, if I'm getting paid to put posts on Instagram and videos on YouTube, and this is a way to get additional revenue, then yeah, of course I'd be in.
Thanks, Seb. I have a question from YouTube to you, Graham. Why should people use SyncVault? Why should creators use SyncVault if they can just get monetized through YouTube?
Well, okay, good question. So our creators on YouTube continue to be monetized on YouTube, but 7 million creators on YouTube who are monetizing cannot have access. As soon as they use content that belongs to someone else, they lose monetization. They get a claim on their video, and they lose monetization. So what we do and what our technology does is we have direct access into YouTube's content ID. So they can use content from our platform, put it into their YouTube video, and we will remove that claim. That means they continue to monetize their platform and their content on their platform, but they are earning additional incremental income on top of that for promoting the assets. So it's product placement, if you really think about it. That's what we're doing. We're saying to all our creators, do exactly what you're doing with all the platforms you want to work with. That doesn't stop you, use those platforms. But if you want to earn additional income in your videos, come to our platform and you can take music from our platform or products that we're promoting on our platform, put them into your videos. You won't get a claim on that because we'll manage all of that, and you'll continue to earn the same money you get from YouTube, but we'll pay you on top.
Okay, all right. I mean, I think that explains because I mean, so usually like creators can get the YouTube monetization, they get it anyway. But on top of that, by using the content which is available on SyncVault, they can maximize their revenue. Correct?
It's absolutely correct. And for example, if you looked at the J campaign, if a creator wanted to use that music, he'd get a claim. He would lose monetization on his platform. If he comes to us and gets some music, not only does he get a great track that's probably more relevant to his audience, but he earns additional money for promoting that track. And downstream, part of the decentralization and what I was trying to explain was that actually the lower you go down, so we reward the creator, but we also reward the fans for promoting that music in their own networks.
Amazing, amazing. If there is no question from VCs, maybe I can shoot you another question. In terms of the blockchain, like this is another question that I got it. In terms of blockchain, like what blockchain are you going to use, and what are your plans of integrating, like converting your existing infrastructure into blockchain-based infrastructure for royalty payments?
Yeah. Fine. So we are in discussions with a number of protocols at the moment, which has been really quite exciting. So in terms of royalty payments, there's two types of royalties. But if we look at the kind of more traditional royalties, if I'm earning royalties from streaming platforms or from social media platforms, it's taking me between 1 and 6 months to get, sorry, between 2 and 6 months to get my royalty payments from those platforms. If you come through us, what we can do is we do about 2 million microtransactions per day on YouTube alone. So I know exactly what the influencers have earned on YouTube, and I can wrap up a day's trading in a synthetic NFT, and trade that in a DeFi expool at extremely good rates compared to any other money factoring. And then I can reward that influencer the following day into his account, into his wallet. Now, the advantage of doing that we see is twofold. One, influencers want to increase the velocity of money that they're earning. Of course they do. But I think if they see that increase in velocity, it'll increase the asset value as well, because they'll repost that content and reuse that content. So that's a kind of the first thing. I think that's really important. The second thing for us that's really important is that actually it's an incredible way to acquire customers and influencers, because actually they all want to increase, how quickly they get paid. And through us, we can do that incredibly quickly and very cheaply, and then offer them all the other tools that we're offering them to help them increase, their revenues in terms of the promotion and the assets we give them to use.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Graham. And shout out, if you are a creator and if you want to maximize your revenue potential, I think you should consider SyncVault. And thank you so much for presenting, Graham. Great product.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. So guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. I just want to tell you something. Everybody, or maybe on crypto, Twitter, or, right now, everybody is really thinking about these price actions at the moment. But just an advice is like, stop really thinking about the price actions and like thinking like, hey, these small pumps or something is going to like change the whole market in terms of these VC investing environment, things like that. Here, it's mostly long-term. These products, it's not about like the next year, there's going to be a bull run and people are going to cash out. That's not the way that we look at things. It's more product approach and less token-centric. So, on that note, like if you are a project and if you have a long-term vision, and if you want to kind of onboard the next billion users onto the decentralized web, please reach out to us and we are happy to help you. Thank you so much for everyone joining, and see you guys on the next session then.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.